Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Bearable Bull here. And I got this aggressively average content for you today. As guys, I believe we are finally beginning to see the pedal to the metal breaking left and right in the crypto market. First and foremost, we have this bombshell of an announcement. As Brian Armstrong, CEO of Coinbase, stated, they're building an Ethereum layer 2 that will help improve scalability and usability of crypto so they can bring economic freedom to 1+ billion people. Despite the fact that I know very well that the XRP community is no real fan of Ethereum. In my personal opinion, it's powerful for the growth of the entire ecosystem, and this is extremely bullish news. I've been saying time and time again over the past few weeks, I do believe that we do have an opportunity to see altcoins run. And when we continue to see things like this breaking left and right, all of you should be extremely excited. Now, ladies and gentlemen, before I continue, I have to state that I have an emergency bull run warning posted on my OnlyFans down in the description below, as I think this crypto is obnoxiously undervalued and is ready to rip. I don't think there's much time left to get in before it's too late. And if you want to know which token I'm talking about, that link to my OnlyFans is down in the description below. Now, back to the topic of Ethereum. Ladies and gentlemen, I saw something on Twitter today that has me heated. John Deaton posted this clip, retweeted by Digital Asset Investor, and this shows you just how incestuous our financial markets are. Lyle Ness has been A16Z's crypto lawyer from inception, and he wrote the Perkins Coie memo. Bill Hinman relied on this specific memo for the Ethereum Free Pass speech. And Bill Hinman is now a partner at A16Z, making Ness indirectly his lawyer. Ladies and gentlemen, I remember the other day, a couple months ago, Charles Hoskinson calling the XRP army a bunch of conspiracy theorists. This right here dispels any conspiracy, and this makes it nothing but reality. I'm tired of people who are uninformed and don't have their facts straight, calling people that know more a conspiracy theorist. And when you hear what Mr. Ness is about to say, you'll understand that the XRP army has always been correct.
Changes. My playbook these days, in fact, honestly, ever since I sat across from Bill Hinman and he sort of said, we're going to accept your proposal to give some guidance here, I stopped giving guidance. I said, let's be consistent with the SEC's hand wave approach here, because that's who matters. When you get into court, like, the court's going to give deference to the regulator. Nobody wants to. I get that. I really do. And my heart is in it. I love the academic arguments about whether or not something should be a security. But I just think, honestly, to be pragmatic here, you should just treat it like security and be done with it and move on, because we all know how to do that. And so that's, to me, the path of least resistance right now until case law changes.
Ladies and gentlemen, that right there is the reason we're so mad. What happened, Bill? I thought you said that speech was just your personal opinion. How could you ask for guidance from lawyers and have that be your own personal opinion? You see, ladies and gentlemen, I understand what's going on so clearly. What we're having happening at the moment is a banking war, far beyond our grasp. It's not Ripple versus Ether. It's about JP Morgan versus Bank of America. JP Morgan has a vested interest in Ethereum and Ether infrastructure, and Bank of America is a massive Ripple partner. JP Morgan is the biggest bank in the United States, with Bank of America as a second place finisher. But I believe Bank of America is going to be first once Ripple and XRP adoption gets full-blown clarity. You see, something tells me JP Morgan got their little pawns to help invest in Ethereum and give Ether their clarity. Then they slapped that Ripple lawsuit to try and prevent Bank of America and Ripple from going full-blown airborne. You see, guys, you need to read between the lines, because at the end of the day, with what's going on right now with Ethereum Layer 2s coming out to improve scalability, Ether wants to take on Ripple and XRP's use case. But the thing is, Ripple and XRP's technology is superior. There doesn't need to be any merges on XRP for it to work the way it's supposed to work, scale and not have obnoxious fees. Ether isn't even 50% of the way complete. They still have so much work to do. They tried to slap a lawsuit on us in order to limit our adoption. And while we have been running through quicksand, we're almost done. Ladies and gentlemen, what you need to understand is that globally, regulations are ramping up. And ultimately, I've stated on my channel for 4 years now, regulations will be a friend to Ripple and XRP adoption, not an enemy. And what it's going to do is get the bad players out of crypto. We've seen the FTXs of the world collapse. We've seen the government collusion with Ether and FTX, believe it or not. And while Ether has been a bad player, I do want ETH to succeed because it's better for the whole industry. The entire industry needs to not be tribal because at the end of the day, they're coming after all of us at once. Here's Augustin Carstens, head of the BIS, talking about how traditional banking infrastructure is superior to crypto technology. We all need to join forces, and we got to do it quick.
A few years ago, crypto assets and cryptocurrencies were in a way put as an alternative to fiat money. I think that battle has been won. Technology doesn't make for trusted money. Only the legal historical infrastructure behind central banks give credibility. So it has now become an alternative or an activity, a financial activity that could exist under certain conditions.
Ladies and gentlemen, what you need to understand is Ripple and XRP work with these traditional systems. And if anyone feels bad because I'm mocking his voice, understand I don't give a fuck about these lizard people. You see, I'm absolutely tired of people believing that people like Augustin Carstens, head of the BIS, which is at the top of the food chain of the banking cartel, are professional or credible in any capacity at all. They are the heads of the largest Ponzi scheme to ever hit humanity. They cause all the poverty. They cause all the crisis. They cause all the pain and suffering on the planet. They deserve to be mocked. And what you need to understand is, regardless about how you feel about these things, Ripple has been in meetings with the BIS. And despite this narrative that they're trying to project to the world, they have no choice but to adopt this technology. Now, ladies and gentlemen, to cap off this video for today, let me give you the final piece of the puzzle that should remind everyone why exactly we're invested in this digital asset. My favorite woman in the crypto space, Rosie Rios, whose name is on all the money, is on Ripple's board. And I want all of you to listen to her discussing how the money is going to the metaverse, blockchain, and AI. She didn't join Ripple, and she doesn't endorse XRP for no reason as the former treasurer of the United States. And if there's any question left in your minds that Ripple and XRP will succeed, pull out some cash out of your wallet. Take a look on the bottom left corner and know that this woman's name on 99% of the world reserve currency is on Ripple's board. That should bring chills down your spine, because it certainly did with mine. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Bearable Bull here. Thanks for tuning in. As always, I appreciate every single one of you. Now I'll be back tomorrow with another video.
What would I do as an investor? One, I would follow the money. Yes, it is my name on U.S. currency, almost $1.8 trillion with my name on it in currency in circulation, so no one has made more money than I have. But if I were following the money, where is it going? It's going to the metaverse, it's going to blockchain, it's going to artificial intelligence. Technology and innovation will be the key. And here's what's important to remember. In 2007 and 2008, we saw a huge growth of investment in technology and innovation. This was during the downturn. What was invented in 2007 that has turned our world upside down today? Anyone? The iPhone. Very good. The iPhone was invented in 2007. There is no doubt, and then obviously subsequent to that, you saw Facebook, you saw Google, you saw Airbnb, you saw Uber. In one of our biggest downturns, innovation still mattered. And that's going to still be the case. This is a very resilient global economy, and a lot of that innovation is happening here. Absolutely, it's happening here. But when I think about the pillars of capital, financial capital, physical capital, intellectual capital, it is human capital that still remains the best investment to make. And I know that's happening here in this country. I know it's happening in the U.S., and I want people to remember that this relationship that the U.S. has with India is so important. You might recall that President Obama visited India twice during his administration. You also know that President Biden has had 2 in-person bilateral meetings with Prime Minister Modi. That relationship will absolutely, no doubt, continue. For the person who was born and raised in Silicon Valley, I know firsthand the economic, the political, and the social influence.
Why do I hold XRP? Because Ripple's the chosen one to lead the new global digital payment system, and they use XRP. In 2013, the Federal Reserve began looking for faster payments options. 2 years later, an action plan was born and a federal payments task force was created. It included one company focused on crypto, Ripple. In 2014, the World Bank and Better Than Cash Alliance, which includes the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Clinton Global Initiative, and the governments of 32 countries, put out a report called The Opportunities of Digitizing Payments. 1 year later, the Better Than Cash Alliance featured one crypto company on their website, Ripple. Today, Better Than Cash Alliance and all other UN initiatives are focused on a single agenda, the Sustainable Development Goals for 2030. You can see the SDGs logo on Bill Gates' lapel, world-leading companies, the Better Than Cash Alliance website, and on the UN's official exchange, Exchange. What crypto is Exchange officially utilizing for their carbon credit solution? XRP. The world will move to a new international standard for exchanging electronic messages between financial institutions by 2025 called ISO 20022. Who was the first ISO 20022 member focused on distributed ledger technology? Ripple. Who's partnered with over 300 financial institutions, including Bank of America, American Express, PNC, Santander, SBI, HSBC, Standard Chartered Bank, Bank of England, India, Singapore, Scotland, Australia, and Indonesia, the largest banks in Japan, Canada, Egypt, the Middle East, United Arab Emirates, Thailand, Morocco, Bhutan, South Korea, Brazil, and Latin America? Ripple. Who is a former employee overseeing the Federal Reserve? Ripple. A former employee overseeing the world's largest asset manager, BlackRock's digital asset division? Ripple. Leading Australia's CBDC effort? Ripple. Who hired a former Treasury of the United States? Ripple. 2 former Federal Reserve attorneys to their board? Ripple. 2 former Clinton and Obama advisors? Former Minister of Defense and Economics of Germany? Former business director at Swift? Former Swift board member? Former CFO of PayPal? Former head of the DTCC? Former chief business officer at Uber? Former VP of Amazon and former SEC chair on their legal team? Ripple. Who's a member of the Digital Pound Foundation, Digital Dollar Project, Digital Euro Association, Mojaloop, IMF's high-level advisory board on fintech, Hyperledger Blockchain Consortium, Open Payments Coalition, Faster Payments Council, Global Payments Steering Group, Cross-Border Working Group, International Association for Trusted Blockchain Applications, Crypto Climate Accord, University Blockchain Initiative, World Wide Web Consortium, and a featured partner of the World Economic Forum with 3 members of their team directly listed on the WF website? Ripple. Now, does Ripple and XRP sound like they're going to disappear, or do they sound like they're part of a much bigger plan? You decide.